All right, well, we're back here live on La Cool Radio, djmemo, Underground Hype Hip Hop Show. I got a special guest, Sacktown representing.
Right, Craig, how you guys doing?
So tell us, Craig, man, how was your day, man?
So far, so good. I think my Cowboys are losing, but you know, I was catching a nice little buzz at the bar, and now we're here and we're getting into it.
Yep.
I appreciate you having me out. Thank you.
Anytime, brother. We're here to support,
Yeah.
Show love to the Sacktown people, man,
Absolutely.
So tell us, man, what projects do you have coming up?
Well, there's a couple of shows coming up, and I have I'm working on 3 different projects actually, so we can get into all that. Anyways, the next 2 shows we're doing the 15th at the Blue Lamp here in Sacramento. That's 1400 Alhambra Street. That's like a Toys for Tots. It's like a hip hop Toys for Tots benefit. That's gonna be cool. Put on by Mr. P. Chill. Then Friday I've linked up myself and my business partner, Mr. Inked Up. We linked up at the Veterans Stand down in Sacramento, and we're going to be putting on a clothing benefit for the homeless vets. So the first 10 people that come out that bring a brand new pack of socks, they get in for free. It's $10. We're donating half the proceeds and all of the clothing to the homeless veterans, Sacramento Veterans Stand down.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
I'm pretty excited about it. As a veteran myself, like I said, that's more of a cause I'm into. I like charities that actually help people. You know what I mean? There's these scandals with like the NFL and their breast cancer stuff, and they're not donating any of the money to it. This is all profit. So it's nice to know that I was able to organize something. With me and Inked Up organized this whole thing and to benefit the vets of Sacramento. So I'm excited for that. Music projects. I'm working on 2 EPs simultaneously. I have one out right now. We'll talk about that. It's Heat of the Moment. You can find that on Amazon, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify. If you search Riot Craig, RIOTCRAIG, that's out there now. That's produced entirely by DJ Loot. Now, these next 2 EPs I'm working on are produced by 2 separate people, but it's like it's like a team. Like the producer I'm working on with the one, it's like this is a team effort between me and him on that, and the same with the other. And so I'm excited about those 2. One is going to be called Pay No Mind. That's going to be produced entirely by my buddy Diz. He's out of Cameron Park, pretty local Sac. He's an artist as well. He performed last night at Boardwalk. It was a good show at Boardwalk last night.
So why the name Pay No Me?
Pay No Mind?
Pay No Mind, I'm sorry.
Honestly, it was a beat title that I got from Diz, and I started thinking of artwork in my head. And it's like the idea I have in my head, because I'm not an artist, but I have friends that are artists. So I'm like, I pitch this idea to multiple because I want to see what everyone comes back with, and I'll pick one. But I have the idea for it to be, Pay No Mind comes from, like, it's not just the beat title. It's like, that's the kind of culture we're living in. Pay no mind to the atrocities that we're committing. Just think about Christmas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just think about the happy stuff. And that's kind of it. So the idea I have for the cover artwork is going to be, it's going to be like a fistful of dollars and then touching a brain, but then it's going to have like that cigarette smoke, no smoking with the extra. So it's like pay no mind, The other one's going to be called Hooks, Lines, and Speakers, and it's produced by a dude he's out of Virginia, but I grew up with him down south in Southern California. His name's California Christopher. Got some really dope beats, some beats that really inspired me to just take my writing to the next level. So I'm very appreciative. He came to me, I've known him since we're in 7th grade. Oh, wow. He goes, you think I can sell these beats? I said, absolutely, and I'll help you get with the people that can sell those beats. But first, I'm going to need about 8 to 10 of them so we can work on a project together. And we're gonna split it all. You know what I mean? I'm not capitalizing on that. I want my friends to win. I'm a big proponent of watching everyone around me win, because I feel like a lot of artists in the rap game, at least, they have a take on the game like it's like there's a finite amount of space. So in that sense there's a lot of competition. But I don't think there's a finite amount of space. I think it's infinite. And I think just make the music that you want to make. You'll find your lane if you work hard enough, and people will buy into it. And it's not going to be taking money off someone else's plate. You know what I mean? It's just not. There's an infinite amount of space. So that's why I'm like all about. It's like, yeah, I'll help you get on. I'll put you in touch with the folks I know at least, and then and you do what you want to do from there. That's on you because you're gonna work as hard as you're gonna work, man. And I'm gonna work harder because that's just who I am. And anyways, he came to me and I was like, yeah, we'll do this and we'll split this thing and I'll get you signed up with the online distribution deal through Unlimited Sounds. They're out of Sacramento. Yeah, hella good people. They work with everyone from Cali Boys. I know Young Cheddar. I think Charlie Muscle's working with them. A lot of local people. And I know the main folks that run that, and they're really good people. So I'm going to link my buddy up with them. Anyways, that project with California Christopher is going to be called Hooks, Lines, and Speakers. Wow. And it's a take on Hook, Line, and Sinker. You know what I mean? But it's like, and I Googled it. I was like, hey, I got to make sure I got this right. And I was on point with it. So Hooks, Lines, and Speakers, that one's going to come out first. Because the other one's going to be more musically in depth. I'm going to lay some guitar down for the Pain on Mind stuff, and it's going to take a little bit longer. But Hooks, Lines, and Speakers, I have a target. January. January. I think it's going to be done in January. If not, early Feb. You know.
Do you know the first single is going to come out?
I think it's going to be called Haters. If you guys follow, here let me plug my Instagram and stuff, because I'll lay down little snippets and guitar licks and things like that I'm working on. You know what I mean? So if you want to follow me, that's at Riot_Craig. That's RIOT_CRAIG, and you can keep up with me like that. You can go to riotcraig.com. All my stuff's on there. You know, it's just one thing after another. Well, with the Heat of the Moment record that I already have out, we're going to do, like, you know, remember MTV used to do MTV Unplugged? Yeah. Okay, where they'd have, like, people do acoustic stuff. I'm basically going to do that whole entire record live at a coffee shop with inked up on a cajon, you know what I mean, the box drum, and then I got my buddy Graham Vincent. He's gonna do acoustics, and we've already been working it out. We're gonna do the whole record instead of Heat of the Moment. It's gonna be called Heat of the Coffee, and we're gonna do it at a coffee shop live, and you know, it'll be on my YouTube and stuff.
So do you know the date?
I don't have a date for that yet, and I wish I did. Graham came over last week. We went over some licks, and I was loving everything, because I pitched the idea to him. I said, hey, I want to do this. He's all, I love the record. I'd love to be a part of that. Cool. All right. So he hits me up. He's all, I've been working on some licks. I'd like to come by and run them by you. You know what I mean? Because ultimately I have the end say in it. And he came by, ran some stuff by. We're like, yeah, hey. I'm like, I love that, love that, love that. Let's change that. You know what I mean? Love that. And then so I found someone with a cajon that we can get inked up so we can all practice. And it's coming together slowly but surely. I already know all the lyrics. I just got to have, you know what I mean? Because I already wrote the record that came out in September.
That's awesome.
So I'm just waiting on all the music to get written for it. But that's going to be, it's just going to be a live show. And then I think maybe I might put the audio up for free download as well as the video. You know, it's going to be on YouTube, so.
Well, definitely will be, you know, keep us in info, and we definitely will be there supporting you.
No, for sure. That's going to be cool. I got a coffee shop in mind already. Haven't reached out to them yet, so this is unofficial. But I'm thinking the Naked Lounge, because they serve beer. You know what I mean? I don't want a bunch of people hopped up on coffee. I want my drunk folks out there. Let's drink some beers. You know what I mean?
Want the drunk folks out there, you know, supporting that local music.
Yeah. Man. We need to be
great beer,
cervezas.
What
all
else
day.
You need?
Exactly.
No, that's what's up,
so those are the three. You know, I got Pain on Mind, Hook, Line, and Sinker, and then Heat of the Coffee. Working on a collab with one of my buddies, Marstar Music's down south as well. We have a couple of tracks, rough drafts recorded, but I don't really want to announce that or even focus on it yet, because I have these other two things, and it's tough having all of them out. You know what I mean? Like because once I decided to work on a project, I have ADD, right? Yeah. So I don't, I could be working on something and then another idea pops in my head. It's like, okay, well, now I should start working on that. Well, if I keep doing that, I'm going to be working on 10 projects at once.
And so it never gets done.
No, never gets done. It's like, look, I don't want to half-ass a bunch of things. I want to whole-ass a couple things. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at. So I've drawn the line. and I'm going to focus on these till they're done. Write down goals, knock them out. That's life.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's definitely true.
It doesn't matter if it's music. It doesn't matter if it's your chores around the house. It doesn't matter if it's your job. Write down goals, knock them out.
Definitely,
You know what I mean? And that's how it should. That's how I've been working on things. For any artists out there listening who are unorganized like myself, I've used PowerPoint now. A PowerPoint project. Every song on a record, like I have a PowerPoint project, and that's the name of the record. Every slide on that is a different song. So, like if I need a gunshot at 43 seconds into this song, I write that note down. If I still need a feature for that, I write that note down on that slide for that song in that project. So artists take from that, because I'm the most unorganized human being on the planet, but that's how I organize my music.
That's how you run your
exactly.
Your agenda.
And if you guys don't have a plan yet, try that out. And maybe you don't like that. Maybe you'd rather use a whiteboard. Maybe you'd rather use a notepad with every page is a different song. Cool. But if you take from that, take what you can. Anybody I talk to, I'm always trying to soak up lessons from them. You know what I mean? Because everyone's got something to teach you.
Yeah.
Even idiots got something to teach you. You know what I mean? And so you gotta be able to pick the good stuff out of every conversation that you have with the.
So. How long you been on the game, man?
All right. I came up in music playing guitar. I played guitar. I got my first guitar when I was like 16 years old. I'm 27 now. I joined the Air Force. I turned 19 when I was in basic training. So I was away from my guitar. I had no way to create. When I got into my school for my job, I was in Mississippi. This is in 2008. I started writing to instrumentals. Now, I had written raps a couple times before. You know what I mean? Like everyone had. Back in the day on the AOL Instant Messenger, there'd be some rap battles going on, But that wasn't serious. And then so I started writing because I just needed an outlet. And that was in 2008, January of 2008. Started writing. And I remember how embarrassed I was because I had a roommate that lived with me when I was in Mississippi for Air Force Tech School. This guy, like I would be playing an instrumental and writing, and then he'd come in from class or he'd come in from somewhere, and then I'd shut everything down. And I'd shut it down, and and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, just chilling. You know what I mean? I was hella scared, because I wasn't ready. It wasn't ready to see the world. And as I kept writing and writing, I fell in love with it. And so, January 2008 was when I started writing serious. When I moved, I recorded some stuff when I was in Florida. 2009, 2010. I moved back out to Cali at the end of 2011. I linked up with a kid that I went to high school with who lived up in Sac. He was going to Pinnacle College for audio engineer. Nothing but good things to say about Pinnacle College. I've been out there to their studios. They got a great facility. The folks out there. I think my dude, Mr. Blatt, works out there. Actually, he's a good dude. Anyways, we started recording. We were White Noise. That was our name. We were White Noise. Two white guys fucking being weird and making stupid songs. And so we were White Noise. We played a couple of shows. Then I got deployed to Afghanistan, 2013. Oh, wow. So I got deployed, and I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll be back in 6 months, man. It's not even, it's no thing. And when I was out there, I was on a big base out there. First deployment was kind of in the sticks. I've been to Afghanistan twice. First deployment was in the sticks. Second one was on base. They had a poetry night. I was out there. It was the first time I ever performed live sober. Because the two times that I had performed live before, I mean, granted, I've been doing rap now at this point for 4 years, never got to play a show. And then when I did in 2013 was my first show. So I guess it's 5 years. Wow. And we did good. It was White Noise. White Noise went out and we had two good outings, and then I deployed. And when I was deployed, I was sober the whole time, obviously, because there's no booze. I'm out there thinking of all these ideas. I'm talking to my buddy like, hey, we can do this. We can really do this, because there's not a lot of two white guy duos out there. There's just not. And that being said, he kind of seemed to lose touch with it. And what it was his girlfriend convinced him that hip hop was a hobby, could never be nothing, and I wasn't about to accept defeat at the hands of some dude's fucking girlfriend, you know. Pardon my language. But anyways, so I get back and he kind of had lost touch, and I asked him, like, we were out drinking one night, and I was like, dude, are you with this? I'm with it. So, you know, I took him at first word. It's my friend, you know. And then, you know, a couple months go by and things, he's not wanting to make music. He's not wanting to do this, and he's not wanting to do anything to get further. And then he basically quit and didn't tell me he quit till like well after he quit. Wow. You know, and it was like a bad breakup, man. Honestly, it felt like, because it's like I had all these plans for us. You know what I mean? I had all these plans for us, bro.
Writing down.
Yeah, well, just like you would have with any like girlfriend that you like. You know what I mean? It's like, I got these plans for us. We're gonna get, you know, we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be taking these trips. You know what I mean? It's like that. And this dude, you know, he is my boy. We're friends still. You know what I mean? But I realized at that point, it's like, look, I got to go out on my own. I got to venture. I got to figure out how to get shows. So I had a bunch of bars lined up from old stuff. I just pieced together on other beats from old tracks and stuff. Well, my dude Will, he's actually a manager of a local dude here named Jay Terrible. Jay Terrible's a savage on the mic. He's a really good dude. Shout out to him. And Will put on a show with Potluck, who we went and saw last night, actually. And he put it out there. He goes, who wants to see Potluck in Sacramento? And I was like, do you need an opener? He goes, how many tickets can you sell? I was like, all of them. I don't know, but I just said all of them. I was like, I don't care. Whatever it takes to get me on stage, I'll do it. And so I took that on, went and played with them, and then it was like, okay, now I'm on my own. So I've been on my own just a year and a half. I got my podcast, Wyatt's Modern Life. You can find that on iTunes. Soon to be Ustream, because I like this. I like this setup. How'd you get plugged into this? Tell me.
Well, how did this happen? The whole thing that happened, it was just pretending, you know, the DJs, to see, you know, if they can get fans out there, you know, the Ustream, just DJing live. And, you know, the concept of this was just the owners, you know. And, you know, they came up to me and they're like, you know, will you be a part of La Cool Radio? And, you know, we'll give you your own show. So I started writing down, you know, like you, I started writing.
Was it one of those where you're like, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to say yes, so I can just, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You know what I mean?
But it was always my dream to be on the radio.
Right.
You know, so when that opportunity came, I just jumped in and I said yes. So I was thinking, you know, what would I call it? Why, you know, brainstorming, getting everything down, and it came up Underground Hypes.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the underground music, and why not?
Why not?
You know, and so it's been here for 2 years, going for 3, and it's just been amazing, blessing.
Well, you look like you're having a good time, and I like that. I like that because you know, you can tell when someone's straight up miserable. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this guy don't want to be up in here, you know. But no, that's not the case here.
Well, I love what I do because you know, I get all kinds of artists come here.
Right.
It's La Cool Radio. It's just not Spanish. A lot of people think it's Spanish.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm telling you, you gotta figure out that, because when you were like, hey, just check out the YouTube, I was like, this is all Spanish, and I was like, this is gonna be fucking funny. You know what I mean? I was like, this is gonna be really fun. Pardon my language again.
Don't worry. We're not censored.
Oh, you're not censored. If you're not censored, you're not censored. Then
we're not censored. I'm not gonna censor you.
Oh. Yeah. Anyway, you gotta step off for a sec. No. That's cool. I keep talking.
You go. My assistant Lisa Baker just
cool.
Up there.
We got some folks coming in. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, this is Wyatt Craig. I'm on La Cool Radio. I'm up in this. We doing it. Big, live. Nicole's in the building too. Taking pictures and videos and stuff, hopefully. Anyways, get on iTunes. Get on Amazon. Get on Google Play. Buy my record.
So yeah, like you know, you never know who's gonna come to La Cool Radio. This is like a reality show, so you never know.
Well, I got a Rolodex these days up in Sac. So if you need any kind of demographic, dude, I got you, man. I'll link you up with some folks because this is a cool spot, and I guarantee anybody that I told was like, hey, you want to go do an interview, they would be more than happy. They'd be elated. Absolutely.
They love to be here in La Cool Radio. Like, you know, every Sunday I have packed house. Today, unfortunately, all my people are out of town.
Watching football games and stuff.
Getting drunk. Getting drunk at the bar, I guess. You know,
yeah,
being here.
But, it happens.
You know, I gotta be here. You know, I love what I do. You know, I appreciate you for coming.
Hey, I appreciate you having me.
Tell them, where can the fans find you, man?
Okay. Instagram and Twitter, right? At Riot_Craig. That's RIOT_CRAIG. Facebook.com/RiotCraig Hip Hop is my fan page. You can go to riotcraig.com. All of that information is on there. My podcast is on there. That's Riot's Modern Life. If you go on iTunes, for the Apple users, iTunes, you search Riot's Modern Life, just like Rocco's Modern Life for the 90s babies out there. If you go on... I have an Android, so I'm out of the cool kids club. But you download Podcast Addict, like drug addict, but podcast addict.
He's not a drug addict.
Right, not a drug addict, but Podcast Addict, and then it uses the iTunes search engine, and it's really cool. And so,
how long you been doing your podcast?
Podcast. Okay, so I had the idea for the podcast. I would say just a little over a year ago. Just a little over before I did my first show. So I would say like June of 2014, I had bought all the equipment and stuff. And like me and my old roommate, because he got me into like all the podcasts I listened to. I listened to like Adam Carolla. I was listening to only Bill Burr for the longest. And he's all, dude, do you listen to Carolla? And I was like, no, but I remember him from the Man Show. So I'm going to check it out. And I fell in love, and I've seen him like live 4 times since. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fanboy. Wow. Anyways, I was like, I could do this, man. This is the age that we can all do this. I have this same exact mic holder in my garage, and so I have a little setup in my garage. We recorded a few episodes. I was like, these aren't for human consumption. You know what I mean? Like these are not for human consumption. Well, then come January or come like December of last year, I'd say about a year ago, and I was like, no, I'm gonna really do this, and I'm gonna really sit down, and I'm gonna seriously interview people, and we're gonna get serious with this. I'm gonna buy the because you gotta buy a hosting site. You don't have to. There's free, but if you want to pay, you get the unlimited data. Yeah, so it's like, look, I want to be able to upload as much as I want. I don't want to be throttled. I don't want to be limited. So paid the $100 or whatever, and I go through podbean.com. So I started it. I did 2 interviews my first day. 2 interviews. I interviewed just some local guys. I interviewed Cousin P was my first interview. He does locally. Cousin P is cool. He's a cool.
Shout out.
You know him? Cool. Yeah, he's good people, man. He came out. He presses the CDs out here. So if you're local Sacramento, you need some demos pressed up or whatever you need pressed up. Honestly, anything.
For original price, man.
Yeah, and for a good price, and he's on time too. Like he'll do it in 24 hours too. Because I can testify to that because I had him print up some singles for me in 24 hours.
He's tagging me on those.
Yeah, no.
Shout out to my boy.
He's good people. Penny. Came out second. It was the same day, and I got this really good compliment. I was really stoked about it because his buddy came out with him. I goes, your buddy gonna talk too? And he's like, nah, he's just gonna chill. All good. Okay. And afterwards, his buddy's like, hey, were you ever in radio? And I was like, no. He's all, well, it sounds like it, and it sounds like you really like doing this. And I was like, you know what? This is my second show ever, and I will take that compliment, and I'm going to run with it. I like it. Because I do try. You know what I mean? I really do try, and I enjoy talking to people. Now, my first couple episodes were like, it seemed like I was doing the same interview every time. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then, like what we just did, hey, plug your stuff, and then let's talk. Yeah. You know what I mean? That and so I took to that form, and it's plug yourself and then just talk, and that's what my podcast is. We talk about everything from police brutality to comedy. You know what I mean? Good things, bad things, whatever comes up, and whoever I'm talking with. I was sitting in my garage the other day with someone. We weren't podcasting, and we were talking. I was like, "This is good podcast material," but I don't have an hour right now. You know what I mean? I got like 10 more minutes, and so we're gonna have to have you come back. You know what I mean? I'd love to have you on my podcast, though.
Definitely, man. Well, definitely, I have my partner here, Lisa Baker. She also runs online radio station. Hi. It's Fans Radio 916 here in Sacramento. So she's big. Come on, man. You're part of the family.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. She also does the hip hop. We got a lot of things going on. So.
I also stopped by to congratulate you because on, was it Friday or Saturday? They won the #1 online radio
Well, salute to
award.
that.
So
that's where it's at.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to be here. Well, thank you for having me again.
You're always part of the family, man.
All right. Likewise. Like I said, I'd love to have you out on my show.
Definitely, man.
It ranges from a half hour to like an hour and a half. I've gone in-ups too. I haven't gone over an hour and a half because, the dude that came out to talk for an hour and a half, I was like, that was awesome, but I'm cool at an hour. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. You know, I mean, I could talk for days, but my podcast is if I cap it at a half hour, because sometimes I've been in there and I've been talking, and I'm like, oh my god, we're only at 20 minutes, and I'm kind of out of stuff. So you gotta get stretch.
So what do you call your podcast?
My podcast is called Wyatt's Modern Life. I kind of stole the logo from Rocco's Modern Life, but. Hopefully, hopefully it gets big enough to where I get a cease and desist letter, and then I'll change it. You know, that's the goal. You got to get big enough to get that cease and desist.
Definitely.
But yeah, and I enjoy talking to people. I love hearing people's stories, and it doesn't matter. I've had my friends just come out. I'm like, yeah, you're not an artist, but I don't care. Let's talk about the Breaking Bad finale. Let's talk about whatever. We're just gonna what music festival are you going to next? Let's just it's fun for me. It's free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just love doing it.
Not only that, you might gain a fan.
Yeah, you might gain a fan or two. And like I said, I mean, the thing's pretty small time right now. But that's because I didn't work as hard as I should have, or as hard on it as I should have throughout this year. But I was working a lot of 12-hour shifts at work and things like that. Life happens. Life happens. Definitely. And so, that being said, because I wanted to clock 100 hours behind the mic in a year. That was my goal. Yeah. I clocked about 45. You know what I mean? But hey, we set goals so we can, you're not going to always achieve your goals on your first try. And so, 45 hours, that's 45 hours I never spent behind the mic. That's why when I was invited out here, I'm like, this is going to be awesome. Because I saw the footage and I'm like, I just love being behind the mic. You know what I mean? I like it. And in 5 years ago or even 3 years ago, if you would have been like, hey, do you like radio? Like, do you ever think you could do that? I would have said, hell no. There's no way. Now it's like that would be the coolest job on the planet. You know what I mean? But I didn't know that. I didn't even know that.
Power behind it. Huh?
Right. No, I think it's really cool, and I've only gotten positive feedback from my show. I've had one person come out and he said I kept cutting him off, but that was. Here's a small backstory. I don't trash anybody by name or anything like that. Okay, I don't do that. That's not what I'm about. That guy had his own issue. He was a producer.
There's people like that.
Yeah, I don't know. He was a producer, and I go, so what are your main influences? Because I'm trying to learn about what your you produce music, man. Like, you're a beat maker. Where are you grabbing this inspiration from? And he goes, oh, I like a lot of rock music. The black kid. So I was intrigued because I'm like, you listen to a lot of rock music? Because I listen to a lot of rock music, And so I was intrigued, and I go, what are your favorite rock bands? Because I never went back and listened to the episode. Yeah. He just told me after the fact because I gave him the file. I guess he wanted to listen to it. And he thought, he goes, you were just talking over me a lot. I'm not comfortable with you releasing this. And I was like, okay, this is kind of a bitch move. I'm not going to lie. And I remembered, I just harkened back to when I go, what are your top 5 favorite bands? He could only name one, and it's like, okay. As he was kind of going, I just rolled over him, and that's all that replays in my head. It's like, okay, you're, I don't want to embarrass you. I didn't mean to throw you a curveball. That wasn't a curveball thing. You're a music producer. I expected you to go, I'm not influenced by rock. I'm influenced by this, and then you can just rattle me off. So that wasn't a hard question. You know what I mean? I wasn't asking him to, this wasn't an interview with Donald Trump on TV. You know what I mean? Where you don't know what this guy's going to say. It's like, no.
But you do get one shot.
Right. I ask you a simple question about the music that you make, and then you lied, and then you've staggered. Anyways, after that, I didn't put the episode out, and he goes, I can come back and record it. I said, nah, man, it's all good. And you know what? I don't trash him by name to anybody, and I'm not in here trashing nobody by name. It's all good. I'm not going to spend my time talking to you again. That's okay. I wish you the best of luck. You know what I mean? And that's the one person I've had about close to 40 people out on my podcast, and it's all been positive. So
do you research your guests before they come on?
More times than not, yeah. There was one guy, I met him at a show. I didn't even know who it was, okay? I met this guy at a show on a Monday night. I said, please come to my podcast tomorrow before you leave out to Oakland. That'd be really cool. He goes, I'm there. Well, he was the CEO of Amalgam Digital. His name's NEXT. Had no clue who I was talking to. This is the one that went an hour and a half because this guy's got... If you listen to that episode on my podcast... If you listen to anyone, I would say that's my favorite interview of the year because I got 20 minutes into that interview and I was like, oh my God, I'm talking to... a certified badass. That's who I'm talking to right now, and I had no clue. This dude worked on a documentary called shameless plug here. It's not a shameless plug. This dude's a cool guy. I think it's called Looking Through the Glass Shop. It's on Netflix. It's a documentary from a dude from Chico who's a glass blower, makes like pipes and stuff like that. Went to Egypt to teach them the craft out in Egypt, the craft of glass blowing, and he got caught up in the revolution out there. And this dude did a documentary on it. Well, so to promote his documentary, he rode a camel through Park City, Utah, where they have the Sundance Film Festival. And there's a video on YouTube of this guy getting escorted out of town by the cops with a camel and him in tow. Okay, and when he told me that, I was like, wow. Okay, I'm talking to someone who lives and dies for the art, man. This is a badass. Well, Amalgam Digital was the very first all digital record label. Wow. Okay, so if you think of that, it's easy to look back now and go, oh yeah, I can make an all digital record label. But when there was no all digital record labels, to think of that's insane. And then so when I really started thinking about that, I'm like, I'm talking to a visionary. I'm truly speaking to a visionary right now, and that is the coolest. Like, to me, like I was floored, and I just soaked it up, and I just talked to him for as long as I could, because that guy's got a lot of great ideas for artists because I look at it like this. I went to a conference here in town. Irby is put on by, or maybe it's called something else, put on by Irby. Chaz Boswell puts it on. It was really cool. And it was all local SAC artists. They said, and they put out a thing. They said, everyone break into groups. What is the major problems with the Sacramento music scene? And so everyone was in their groups, and everyone got to say all this stuff, and this guy that I had interviewed already, he already had these ideas, like how can you get out of this pay to play scene and stuff. He's got all these small business ideas, and I started pitching this stuff like, as artists, we are a small business. We're all a small business. Now, what are you going to do with it? So for myself, like I said, I have the podcast, I do the rap. I'm also doing the Defiant music promotions now. You know what I mean? So I got 3 things. That's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't know what everyone else is doing, but we're all a small business. Maybe you sell T-shirts. Maybe you strictly are just a rapper and you sell records. Whatever. You know what I mean? But we're all a small business. The same guy that owns a flower shop that's got to get people in to buy flowers is the same guy if he was a rapper. If he was a rapper, he's going to have to get people buying his records somehow, whether it's flowers or T-shirts or records or whatever. We're a small business. Figure it out. Do I have all the answers? No, I'm figuring it out as we speak, because I've had someone go, well, what's your plan? I'm like, well, as I walk through this life, I'm figuring it out one step at a time. I don't know yet, who knows? I could write a song next week that could make $1 million. You know what I mean? Or I can write songs for the next 15 years and never make a penny. You just don't know, and you don't know who's going to hear it, and you don't. It's such a gamble, and I'm kind of a gambler, so I feel like I guess it all makes sense. That I'm literally living my profession off of a gamble, obviously doing work and stuff like that on the side, but that's just, it's what it is. As an artist, I mean, if that's what you want, do you want to make a career out of it? Do you just want it to be a hobby? It's anybody's game, just like with anything. Like, you could be a professional shooter, or you could go to the gun range once a month. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same with everything. So that's what I got. I got the video out. I'll plug that video. It's on YouTube.
Video. That's awesome,
Strong Survive, featuring Ricky Jimenez. She's got a beautiful voice. Killed it.
Is she from Sacramento?
I believe she's from Woodland, but she lives down in LA now. And that was a crazy story too, because I was a year ago on my birthday. January 3rd is my birthday, so we're coming up on a year. Yeah. I opened at Ace of Spades for Sage the Gemini. Not really my cup of tea, not really my style, but it was my birthday. And I was like, I'm doing Ace of Spades for my birthday. That's what I'm doing. Like, that's my birthday present to me. And, like 3 days before, my chick that I had that was going to sing that, because I had a different singer originally singing on the hook, and she didn't do so well. And I knew I was going to find someone else for the final song. But I was having just random different girls that I've known from doing karaoke and stuff like that sing it live with me. And my girl that I had, she hit me up, and she's like, I got strep. You know what I mean? I'm like, no. So I put it out on Twitter, man. I just go, hey, does anybody know a female that can belt this out? And I had the original recording from the SoundCloud link, and my buddy goes, does it have to be a girl? And I said, yes, it has to be a girl. 100%. This is the closer. We gotta go out. We gotta go out strong with this thing, and I don't want some dude up here. You know what I mean? No, I mean it doesn't. It's just more powerful with the female voice.
No,
Anyways, he goes, my buddy's girlfriend's in town. She could probably do it. So I go, we'll have her hit me up and send me a sample. She emailed me a sample of, she did like a Beautiful. She sang Beautiful. I think Christina Aguilera cover in the email, and I was like, this girl's voice is beautiful. Like, she killed the shit. So I met up with her like in the parking lot like an hour and a half before the show, and we rehearsed a couple times, and she killed it live, you know, and her family was hella supportive too, you know, like dude, like I'm telling you, like 15 people came out. I was like, oh man, all these ticket sales last second. Yeah, you know, and she killed it, and I go, I need this recorded with you. You know what I mean? And so we were, she recorded it, or we recorded the video, and then she recorded the audio like way later, and I sent it to my guy, and then it came out how it came out, and that's how the video turned out. You know, we just did a single location. Her and her boyfriend came out. We just, you know, I kind of directed it. I was like, we're gonna just walk down here real quick. I just need a couple of shots. It's not gonna be anything crazy, you know. And it came out good. And the dude that shot that video, that was the first video he ever shot.
Amazing,
ever.
Amazing video. I seen it the other day. It's awesome, man.
Strong Survive. You can find it right, Craig. Strong Survive on YouTube. I hit the 1,000 play mark. You know what I mean? I'm reaching heights with it. But I'm gonna do another one. I sent you the song for that. I'm American. There's an acapella that goes into that. Prior, and I just gotta find someone with a green screen. I'm gonna shoot it like a White House press conference. You know what I mean? Like in a suit, and I'm gonna be out there, and I'm gonna do the acapella into the White House press conference. And then I think we're gonna go shoot downtown. We got the Capitol, you got the Vietnam Memorial. There's all kinds of government stuff down there, and I think it's gonna really flow well. I got a good vision for it. I just gotta get my cameraman up here. That's all. You know.
Give them a plug to your podcast.
Podcast, iTunes, Riot's Modern Life. You can find it on iTunes, and for the Android users that use it on their phone, Podcast Addict. They use the iTunes search engine, and if you just need to stream it off your desktop, you go to podbean.com or riotsmodernlife.podbean.com, and you'll bring right up to all the episodes. I think there's like 35 or so. Newest one, Inked Up. Actually, Inked Up returns. Inked Up returned to the podcast for a second time because the first time he came out, they didn't have D1.
Yeah.
D1 was non-existent. It was not a thing. And so now D1's a thing, and I love D1. And we're going to be making some moves down south, I think, over this next spring. I'm really excited.
Definitely.
And another plug on your show coming up?
We got the show coming up December 18th. Well, I have a show at Blue Lamp on the 15th. If you can't make it to the 18th for whatever reason you're free on a Tuesday, go to Blue Lamp. It's a Toys for Tots type thing put on by Mr. Pete Chill. All cool people. Charlie Muscle's going to be out there. Cali Boys. Other names are slipping me right now. We got the Friday, December 18th, Starlight Lounge. That's on 21st Street in Sacramento. It's right across from the Press Club. We got the Doggies headlining Point of No Return. KO and Eli, Charlie Muscle, Edison, Recorded Freedom, Bishop Thrives, and myself and AT are all rocking out there. Myself and Inked Up. And it's to benefit it's a clothing drive for the homeless veterans of Sacramento. We've linked up with Connected Clothing. Shout out to them. Connected is going to be coming and donating some stuff, and they'll be out there. And it's the Veterans Stand Down of Sacramento.
Definitely.
It's giving season.
And those are 4 tickets for you guys. So
Definitely will be there, man.
hey, come on out, man. It's going to be for a good cause. Starlight Lounge drinks are cheap. Drama is non-existent. That's what I'm saying. Guaranteed.
You can drop them for your mama.
Yeah.
Do that at home. We don't have time for that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hey, we don't
support, man, and give.
we don't play with that. Yeah, exactly. And it's for a good cause, and it's my first time doing like a show for a charity that I've actually put on, so I'm super excited for it because as a veteran, like I said, I think that's my cause. That's the cause I got to get behind. You know what I mean? If any, and that's what I'm gonna rock with. So
Definitely.
that's what I'm rocking.
Well, definitely, I want to thank you for taking the
Hey,
time.
well, thank you for having me. I
Here.
appreciate it. Salute.
Being with me.
Very nice meeting you. Nice meeting all you guys. I love the Ninja Turtles. Nice meeting you. Hey, thanks.
Definitely will not be the last time we will be here.
Hey, no. Hey, and we'll do the podcast soon. Signing off, Riot Craig at Riot_Craig. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Bye.
Cool Radio. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dude. That was awesome.